Hello, guys. Today I have my sister with me, and I've been updating you guys on our ayahuasca trip in Costa Rica. And we did our ceremony last night, and we're going to tell you a little bit about it. But first, if you're new to my channel, my name is Courtney Angel, and here we talk about spirituality, shadow work, and healing our childhood trauma and living every day with your ego. And I'm so happy that everyone's going on this healing process with me. And ayahuasca is a big part of healing, and it's a plant medicine. And if you want to know more about it, just research it and see if it's right for you. Anyway, so as I said yesterday, we go to ceremony with I think like 40 girls. It was supposed to be 20, but there ended up being a lot of girls. Women, yeah, all women. And we all gather around on a pad, and there's an altar, and it has crystals, and it's got candles, and there's shaman there, and helpers. And we all line up, and we take 1 cup of ayahuasca tea. This is a Brazil mix. Yeah, I think it's Brazil. Mm-hmm. There are other types. There's like a few other types that you can do with the ayahuasca plant. But this one's more of a gentle tea, so we can like stomach it better because you purge when you drink it. Anyway, you line up and you get your first cup, and they play live music. They played sound baths. The music was pretty cool, huh? Mm-hmm. We didn't really know what to expect. We've never done this. Neither of us have tried hallucinogenic drugs. We just kind of looked into this and trying to heal our trauma. And anyway, you take the first cup, and we all sit around the circle on these pads. We have blankets, pillows, puke buckets. we were all nervous we were gonna shit our pants.
We all get ready for tea time.
And and it's under this little hut in Costa Rica. It's so pretty. There's like foliage outside, like beautiful plants and foliage. There's foliage outside, and there's butterflies flying around. And right before ceremony, it actually poured rain, and the shaman said that's good.
Yeah, it was thundering and lightning.
It was.
And you have this little hut with these little logs around you, and then it has like openings, and you can oversee this huge valley in the ocean of Costa Rica. And then it was just pouring down rain, and you could see lightning and thunder in the background when we first started it.
It was really cool. So we kind of started off the night really cool. They start off with a prayer. You look around, and all of these women, we're all scared shitless.
We're all nervous.
We're all so nervous.
You can feel all the excitement when we're going down there. And the ceremony's all silent, so we can't say anything. So as soon as we start walking down, it's dead silent. You're not allowed to communicate at all because we're all supposed to be on our own personal experience.
And you're not allowed to, like, grab ass, like, with anyone. Like, it's an old term for messing around. Like, you can't giggle and laugh, and you all have to bring your own energy, and you cannot sit by anyone you know either. So it was really hard for us not to sit by each other.
Yeah, so we sat directly across from each other.
Yeah, we didn't mean to. It just happened that way. So we say a prayer, and they set the energy right. They cleanse you.
With sage.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get all saged up by one of the shaman and their helpers.
Yeah, they have to smudge you, is what they call it. And once you get smudged, you can go in line. It literally is like a communion line.
It's a lot like Catholic Mass, surprisingly.
Yeah, and it's just not the wine you're drinking, or you don't have any bread.
There's no kneeling.
We could not eat past lunch, so we were hungry.
Hungry for some tea.
Yeah, so they don't want you to eat because you purge, and yeah. So we line up, and I took my first cup, and Tori took her first cup. Oh, what really happened was, all of a sudden, this giant blind bug flew.
A locust.
Yeah. They have
Costa Rica has a shit ton of bugs.
They have.
You can't say shit.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They have sharp legs, and so they said if it lands on you, like, get help. And because you don't want to, like, pull it off because it'll cut you. And so I'm not kidding, it was just like, thump. Like,
I watched it from the line.
It was legit on my neck, and it started climbing on my neck.
It just beelined right for her and just, like, slammed into her neck like one of those pilots.
It was terrible, and it went up on my head right here. And I was like, help, help, help. And I went to the leader, one of our mentors, and I was like, help me get this off my head, and she just grabbed it with her shawl and it started hissing. It was like and like threw it off me. I'm like, thank God.
Corey's like, yeah, it's just perched on my head and she's just walking around with the bug on
I
her
did.
head.
I was
Like,
so
help
calm.
me, help me, but she was very calm. And then this girl down below her saw, she's like, oh, hell no, get that away from me, get that away from me.
Yeah, she was scared. Everyone was scared.
And everybody started cracking up in line, and we weren't supposed to be laughing, but we all started a little bit of a tiff laughing because it was pretty funny.
The shaman was like looking at us like we were in church laughing, like no,
like we're about to get thumped.
Yeah. Anyway, that was good. I guess that was my first encounter. I sit down with my first cup and I feel absolutely nothing. I could hear things in my ears, like when I lay down on my pillow, I could like hear like my ear canal, and like it sounded like stuff was pouring out of it. So I'd sit up, but nothing was pouring out of my ear. I did feel nauseous, but didn't puke. I don't think anyone really felt it their first cup.
I know there was a few people that threw up like immediately, and some of them that said they felt it. But me and Courtney both just went back to our mat, sat there listening to music, and then we both fell. Well, I fell asleep for a little bit during the mat time.
I just stayed awake because I was waiting. I was like ready to see something. I kept looking around like, oh, did the light bulbs change? No, they all look the same. Anyway, they finally said second cup. There were a few people that were puking already. And they play this music. It's long. It's 6 hours long, like all night. So it starts at 6. It ends like around midnight or 1.
Yeah, we got back into our room at 2.
Yeah.
It's a long ceremony.
Oh my God. And you're just like laying there so uncomfortable because the medicine really does make you feel a little bit like sick. Anyway, we go up for a second cup, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting a second cup because this has done nothing for me.
Yeah, me and Courtney were both ready. I thought I napped through the first one. I was like, oh, frick, I missed the second cup. But I did not. I woke up in plenty of time to get the second cup.
Yeah, so we get in line, we get the second cup, and I feel nothing.
Oh, and this tea is like, it's not tea like you're sipping on tea. It's like a shot of like kind of sludgy tea, but it tastes like prune juice with a little bit of texture to it.
Yeah,
but it's not bad. You can stomach it.
It's not
bad.
Like
a shot of vodka or anything.
It's not bad. It's better than those immunity shots we had in the airport.
We had some spicy ginger shots, and it is better than a ginger shot.
Yeah, it's better. It's totally reasonable to swallow. I think there was a girl that could not. She kept puking.
Yeah, she puked immediately, and she just like couldn't keep it down. They gave her 3 cups, and she threw up every one of them.
So she didn't really get enough to digest it, which is unfortunate. But I felt nothing the whole time, and I'm not allowed to talk to Tori, so I see her across the way, and I'm like, I wonder what she's doing. But anyway, I took like I had a headache, a throbbing headache, and I had one before the ceremony, but you're not allowed to take ibuprofen, or you shouldn't, and so I didn't, and so I had this throbbing headache, and then I am on my moon, which that's a good term for on your
female moon,
on your period.
Yeah.
And I like that term better. I'm definitely going to use it for future. But I was on my moon, and so my cramps were like, my 2 little ovaries were like throbbing, like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Like I could feel them. And on the medicine, like I could feel my ovaries like right there. It was really weird because I didn't know where they were in my stomach really. But I could feel them, and it was aching, and I had cramps. And so I just laid down and took a nap. I literally slept almost the whole ceremony. I didn't see anything. It just was like hearing people puke and hearing noise.
They're watching me dance in the rain or the outside.
Yeah, and then I finally got up from my nap. And it was peaceful though because the music's so quiet. Like it's just like
it's a lot of drums and Portuguese.
Oh yeah, Portuguese, yeah.
That's what
language.
they speak, yeah.
It's literally the coolest
kind of like
thing.
the one song from Lilo and Stitch.
She thought she heard the Lilo and Stitch song during her hallucinogenic.
I did feel something.
Yeah, Tori had a different experience, and I'll let her talk about that. And then we'll meet in the middle when I finally saw her gazing up into the sky. So, how did it start out, yours?
Mine started out, I didn't really feel the first cup. I felt maybe like a little like warm and like a little bit woozy and just kind of tired and like maybe like fell asleep and dreamed a little bit. But then I woke up for the second cup, and when I took the second cup, I like laid back down and I was like feeling fine, waiting for it to kick in. And then I was like, ooh, I want to lay down. I got real tired and I laid down and I kind of pulled my blanket up because it was a little chilly. And then I remember like looking up at the rafters, which was this like log hut that we're kind of in with like open around it. I started looking at these rafters, and then the rafters all started kind of like moving and like kind of like vibrating and like breathing. And I was like, oh dear God, here we go. And I'm like looking up, and there was these string of lights on top of us, and the guy kept like dimming them and lightening them. And I was like, and then every time he'd do it, they kept moving in like slow motion, like going. And I was like, oh, here we go, we're gonna have fun. And so I tucked myself in because I'm like, oh God, this is so crazy. It was exact like I started going through this really intense cycle where I hid in my blanket and just kept my eyes open like this, just looking around at everything that was so freaking nuts. And then everybody around me on my side all start throwing up intensely. This lady in front of me is throwing up and screaming and kind of yelling, and I'm like, oh shit. And then the girl next to me is like, "Bleh," and I was like, oh crap. And I'm sitting here, and I felt not grounded, and like exactly what they say. I felt like I was just like floating through like energy, and the whole world was like moving, and I was like, oh, I can see exactly why people were throwing up, because it was just like a roller coaster ride. And I was like, oh, like, because my stomach felt fine and I felt fine on the inside, but like this, like not being grounded, not having anything to grasp onto, and just like going for it. And then during that time, I started laughing because I thought about Courtney and how she hates all of her roller coaster rides and everything. And I was like, oh, Courtney's got to be puking. There's no way she's going through this without like she would hate this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that part lasted for probably like 15 or 20 minutes, where I like would open my eyes and everything would be moving, and like everything looked cartoonish a bit. So it was just kind of like animated on the walls, and I'd look up and all the rafter beams would be like moving, kind of like geometric patterns. And I was like, oh, Lord, that's making me sick. So then I'd close my eyes and I could feel all my organs, and I felt my body just squishing together and like roping together, and I'm melting into my mattress. And I was like, oh dear God, I gotta open my eyes. So I kept open them, closing them, just sitting here with my blanket, and I started yawning. Luckily, I didn't throw up. I just purged with yawning, is one of the things I was like, thank goodness. Um, but yeah, after I got through that really intense part, I was like, oh, I'm never doing this again. Like, it's crazy. Like, no way. And then I started to come down a bit and started to get more of just like the vibrant side of it, where I was like, oh, and I just felt euphoric and enjoyed it. And I had just sat up, and I was like, oh, I want to go to the bathroom, and like try to walk around, because before I was like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. I just sat in there watching everybody puke, and then stealing my puke bucket and giving it to other people. I was like, that's my puke bucket. um, but yeah, so then I finally got up and I went to the bathroom, and then on my way to the bathroom, I saw some girls standing outside the hut, because it's open and you can like walk through, and there's like a grass patch. I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And so I like stepped, and I want to get away from like the barfing corner too. That's pretty intense. I was like, I gotta get out of that. So I walked out there, and it was like stepping into a whole new world, because you can just see all of the stars, because it's Costa Rica, so you can see the huge like Milky Way, and you just like walk out and your mind's just freaking blown by how spectacular it was. And it was the most amazing thing I ever saw. And I was just like, mouth open, looking at the other the other druggies out there with me, and I was like, ooh, does anybody see how like fucking awesome this is?
Yeah.
I'm like looking around, looking for Courtney, waiting for her. And so I'm just kind of dancing and feeling the grass in my toes until I see Courtney.
And I woke up from my nap and I turned around and saw her in the grass. I'm like, I'm not supposed to go and talk to her, but I'm gonna go over there and see if she's feeling it, because I didn't feel jack shit. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I see her, and I just knew she was feeling it. She's like dancing on her tippy toes, like in the grass and looking up, and she's got that face that when she gets drunk, she has like this like ditzy face on her smile, and so I knew she was feeling it. I didn't even have to ask. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go sit back down. But then I asked her, or she goes, do you see it? Do you see the stars? I'm like, yeah, they're just stars. She's like, no, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we gotta stop talking because we're gonna get in trouble. So I went and sat back down and fell back asleep.
And then I sat back down, and I didn't feel tired at all. I just felt like I wanted to dance, and I wanted to talk to people, and I couldn't talk to anybody. So I'm just sitting on my little pad, eyeballing everybody, waiting for somebody to talk to me, and somebody to look at me and look at the shaman and like, you want to talk to me? And I'm just like waiting. This lady's throwing up in front of me, and she's going through her trip. She's like, man, that's trippy. I was like, it is. And I looked to my left, and there's like a girl, not doing too good. And I'm like, oh, and I just like laid down and stared at her for a while, and I was like, oh, she's like a little cocoon there. But yeah, eventually I just sat up, and they started playing music, and Patty, who is the main kind of leader for this retreat, she starts singing and like shaking her maraca, and she looks like a medicine woman, like a Native American medicine woman, and
she looked beautiful.
the whole music just moved through your entire body, and it was absolutely amazing. And she sung like some really feminine songs that were like really empowering. And so I just kind of dove into that and just relaxed because I was a little nervous because I was having a good trip and everybody around me was kind of really feeling the medicine and not having too much fun. But then I had to let that go.
I
and
think,
just enjoy myself.
yeah, she's right about the music and stuff. Like, I was sober and it was just like legit so beautiful. Like, you didn't have to be high on ayahuasca to like recognize the actual beauty of the healing of sound and the healing of their words in Portuguese, and just this music and the shaman up there. They're playing guitar, they're singing. Patty's got a sound bath. She's just like singing the most amazing music I've ever heard, and she does. She looks like this white angel goddess. It was really great. So overall, we did find out today that me falling asleep, not having any reaction, could potentially have been like a DNA download, like where you are upgrading your body. And Mother Ayahuasca always knows what you need, and so she just put me down for a nap, I guess, and kind of had me relax. I also heard that you have two tubes in your body, and one of them is a soul tube, and the other one's ancestral. And you need them cleared when you do ayahuasca. It clears them, and there's 4 ways your body can react to ayahuasca, and it's nada is what it's called, and it's one of them. And that's what I experienced when I was. Ayahuasca will put you to sleep, and she's clearing out those 2 tubes, and so you don't have to re-experience your trauma. And so I'm thankful for that. I think, like, at first I was like, what the hell, like nothing happened to me, like, okay, everyone's tripping out, but like I'm just sitting here napping. But it was a peaceful nap, and I feel really good and rejuvenated. I did end up puking at the end of the retreat when they had snacks. I took a bite of a cracker and I just puked all over the place.
And I was so hungry the entire ceremony. I could not wait to eat. I just wanted a cheeseburger. I wanted a McDonald's cheeseburger so bad. I was like, oh, I can't wait for this to be done. We get snack time, and everybody's throwing up, and I was like, oh, I get seconds. And I ate all of Courtney's food on top of all my food. I got seconds. Yeah, tons of fruit. It's really good.
I was not feeling it. Here they have a really healthy diet, and it's wonderful. It all tastes great, but like...
I know, I'm looking great. I was like, I feel so skinny.
There's no salt. There's only like white meat and
all fresh fruits and vegetables. Like
no sugar. So yeah, it's really yummy, good food and whole food. But it's just, if you're not used to it, I think that's why I had a headache. I wasn't used to not having so much salt. Like, the American diet is just trash. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and here goes. So that's like our experience with ayahuasca, the first night. So overall, I think we had a great experience, because when we're talking to our group, they had some rough time. No, everyone's scared to do it again, because it's like...
Everybody's nervous because they say each time's going to be different. So even I'm nervous because it's like, I think Mother Ayahuasca went gentle on me, and I think she was being like really nice and friendly. So you never know what she's going to show you or how intense it's going to get. But you have to have trust that it's going to show you what you need.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I like was forcing myself to see stuff when I didn't, almost, and I was like, what the heck? And I was like, you know what? She's like making my head throb. My ovaries are killing me. I'm cramping. And when I laid down, I felt so much better, and I wanted to sleep. So I was like, I just surrendered to her and slept. I mean, I'm like, I don't want to sleep through the whole cool ceremony, but I just let go. And she was just making me rest. And if anyone knows me, I'm just like an Energizer bunny. Like, go, 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 go. And I like cannot shut myself off. And she just made me. She just cut it. She's like, girl, you need a nap. Like a forever nap. I slept so long. Anyway, so tonight we're going to do it again. And we will fill you in again once we go through tonight. We'll see how it goes. Everyone is nervous. I'm not nervous. I almost, like, my intuition kind of makes me feel like I might just sleep again. But I don't know. I
don't
really
want her to sleep. I want her to just feel it.
I don't want to puke. I don't want to feel dizzy. I don't like spinny rides, like she said. I don't want to feel that.
I kind of liked it. I think she knew that I would like it, so she gave me a little taste, a little fun.
Oh god. Yeah, I did feel like trash though. Like during the ceremony, I didn't feel
Felt good. I felt great. I just want to hug everybody. I want to talk to everybody, and everybody was not doing it.
Yeah.
And you can't talk, so you just got to sit there in silence on your mat.
Yeah. And other people had the same experience as I did. They did sleep. So a lot of them were discouraged too because we'd never done anything like this. So we were like, oh yeah, we're going to trip. We didn't. And so it's kind of nice to know that other people were in the same boat as me. I mean, other people in the same boat as Tori as well.
Mm-hmm. There was a few people, like my people that were next to me, we were all really intensely tripping. And it was interesting because I ended up sitting right next to another nurse and we didn't know that. And we both had similar feelings of like when we saw the shaman helpers like going around changing the puke buckets, healing people. I was like, man, that feels like real nursing to me. And she felt the same way. And it was weird that we sat right next to her. She's like, yeah, I just wanted to go like help people. And I was like, oh, me too. And everybody in my little area seemed to be, not a single one was sober, that's for sure. Everybody's feeling something. But we were all vibing pretty good on my side.
Overall, this trip has been really cool and it's given me motivation and a fire lit inside me to bring this back somehow to people in our community. So um, it's really life changing, and I encourage all of you to think if it's out of this world or we're crazy. We are crazy, and everyone's crazy, and that's why you need to heal yourself. And I research it. There's nothing addictive to this drug. You don't. You if you're guided, you are okay. We are guided in this retreat, and I think overall it's a really good experience.
We're gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it again tonight.
We may have different thoughts tomorrow.
And then we'll do Wachuma Wachuma, and we'll let you guys know. So thanks for listening to my guest Tori today, and I'm so happy she's here with me in Costa Rica doing this. We experienced trauma together, and now we get to heal trauma together. Overall, I think our healing my healing lesson that night, what ayahuasca was trying to tell me, was to rest and that I'm okay and I've done all the work and I just need to rest. And if she was trying to clear my trauma without me knowing it, that's how I prefer it. Because I don't want to I don't want to relive it anymore. And I think I do constantly relive it in my head doing all this shadow work. It's like, I've done the work. It's time to rest. So that's what I think she was trying to teach me.
Yeah, I came in for a deeper understanding of being misunderstood. I was ready to come in and do some work, and I knew it was going to be hard, and I was ready for it, just like everything is in life. And I was very set on, I was like, oh, I have no expectations, but I expected to get wrecked, and I just expected it was going to be intense. And so when my experience was just fun and lighthearted and just enjoyment, I kind of just got the sensation and the idea that my spirit guides have been telling me that I need to give myself a break and not be so hard on myself. And I was like, what do you mean don't be so hard on myself? Like, we got to get things going. We got to get work on. I was like, I let myself sleep. I let myself go on vacation. But they're basically just telling me, like, just settle down and enjoy it. I'm doing enough. I've been through enough pain and I've done enough work that there's times where I can just have fun. I think it was also like me getting introduced into this medicine and having to trust her to know that there's a good side, because I think if it would have came off just like really strong at first, I would be kind of mistrustful and like stressed to do it every time because I didn't want it to be, traumatic. I don't want to have another trauma. And I think this really helped me get through that and trust it and be like, okay, like, she does have my best interest and she's not going to wreck me every time that I do this. And it's a gentle nature, like firm but gentle.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see now that she's gone easy on us.
She went real easy on me.
Yeah, she did.
Like around our sharing circle, everyone's like, I'm jealous of you. I'm like, you are. I'm jealous of all of you. But everyone's exhausted. It really is exhausting, you guys. I still feel pretty exhausted, and I slept a lot. So there are some people walking around like zombies. So, yeah, that's really it. That's all I want to talk to you guys about and to update you. Let me know if you want any other information. We'll be glad to share. You can comment below, or you can message me personally if you don't want to comment on YouTube if you're watching this. And if you are interested in this retreat, I can give you guys all the information. And if you just want to hear about our tripping experiences, we'll update you soon. So, goodbye. Say goodbye.